One of my favorite cars of all time is the 55 Nomad. Why? I used to own one. The 55 Nomad was unique among 55 Chevys and Nomads for several reasons. First off, of course, it was the first year for the Nomad, which was called a sport wagon. It wasn't actually a station wagon. Station wagons had framed windows around the doors, meaning when you open the doors, there was like a metal frame part of the door around it if you rolled the window down. But this just had a non-framed front door glass, very much like a convertible had. So you roll that down and open the door, there's nothing there but the door. Then it had this slanted B-pillar here. It had a very radical angle to it. And then the back windows were sliders. They slide back and forth rather than rolling up and down like a conventional station wagon. Now your trademark Nomad design cues there are these 9 grooves that are cut into the roof, and it's sort of like their trademark thing. Every Nomad from 55 to 57 had them. In fact, the entire greenhouse, that is all the whole upper structure with the glass and the roof, was all common to all the 55 to 57 Nomads. Okay, another interesting thing about the 55 Nomad is these rear fenders, these rear wheel openings. As you can see, they're a full-size wheel opening. If you look at any other 55 Chevy, they're cut about in half, covering about half or a quarter of the top of that tire right there, which limited tire size. You couldn't get very wide tires under them without them rubbing all the time. The Nomad, the 55 Nomad, was the only one to have this shape of wide open fenders from the factory. Now the 56 and 57 Nomads adopted the same exact fenders as the 55 and 57 passenger, or 56 and 7 passenger cars, which also covered part of the wheel. So they were always also limiting the size of the rear tire. So the 55 is the only one that has this type of full wheel opening that allows virtually any size tire. Now we move around to the back, and the Nomad has a very sloped rear glass and rear tailgate. The angle matches the angle of the B-pillar forward here and of the little ends of the glass sliders here. You move around this way and you'll see that there are 7 chrome spears on the tailgate. That's another unique design cue just to Nomads, Tri-5 Nomads. And then everything else is basically Bel Air. You know, you've got the premium trim. But another interesting thing about the 55 Nomad that makes it unique is the trim. This piece of trim here, this chrome spear that goes down the fender and down the door, originates at an eyebrow that goes over the headlights, is unique to 55 Nomads. No other 55 Chevy has it, and no other Nomad has it. All the other Chevys, including especially the 55 Bel Air, the other ones, and this is a Bel Air, it has a much busier, more complicated side trim that the Nomad simply doesn't have. I don't know who came up with the idea of cleaning it up in this way, but it's elegantly simple, gorgeous. It was one of the most understated and yet beautifully, I don't know, elegant shapes going. The front end was supposedly inspired by a Ferrari with the egg crate grille. This one has the bumper guard, which was an option. Everything else is pretty much standard fare for a 55 Chevy. This is a pretty nice example. I owned a 55 Nomad myself from about 1973 to 1976. It had a Rochester fuel-injected Corvette engine out of a 65F, 327. It was very fast. It was like the fastest car in my little Central Valley hometown where I'm from. And it was black, just like this one. So this is really kind of comes close to my heart. I had the typical US slotted mags for back in the 70s. That was kind of vintage tech for the day. But anyway, this is a beautiful Nomad. I saw it here last year, and in fact, it was parked in the same spot. But that is the 55 Nomad, top to bottom. So there ends our lesson for the day on the 55 Nomad. I'm here at Hot August Nights, and I'm going to go look at some cars. All the best. Talk to you soon.